Jeff Pulver's bored. He tried things he didn't know about. He didn't have many friends. Still, he went ahead and have everybody follow him. What is your message? What's the secret sauce that your parents gave you that made you into the person who you are, and you want to advise others to follow that?
Anybody can be awesome. Starts out by discovering your own awe. I only learned that way later though. Look, my parents empowered me to be passionate about my hobbies. They didn't say no when they could have. Most of the things that I do in my life are self-taught. It's not that I didn't go to university, I didn't go to high school, but I think I missed a lot of days of high school. I learned to be passionate and to embrace my passion. I learned to trust myself even when no one else would. And I allowed myself the freedom to fall into myself. And ultimately to come to terms with I am who I am. That people can describe me any way they want to be, but as long as I'm happy with who I am, I'm okay. It's very hard for anyone to be described in 5 words or less, including myself. My dad though told me a lot of things, that if you don't ask, the answer is no, right? That if you don't try, then you're not going to get to where you want to get to. And that sometimes the reason why I historically have invested in over 400 startups is because I learned that by believing in someone's the best gift you can give someone, and sometimes I believe in people before they learn to believe in themselves. And so when you see that greatness in somebody, and I do, my track record for investing, I am lucky. I admit it, I am lucky. So one investment paid for all my other good mistakes, but I've been okay. And particularly if I invested in a company and went under a few times already, the entrepreneur gifted me stock in their next startup because they remembered that where I was when they needed money the most. And I've been on the edge myself. There are times when I'm down and out and I need money for something and people don't give me anything. It's sort of a very humbling reminder about where the world is. So it gives you like a reset. So, but anything is possible. We just have to believe. And when you act desperate, people will not invest in you. You have to be certain and focused and allow people to connect to your energy, and don't worry about being vulnerable. I think one of the biggest, it's not tricks, but sentiments is be raw, be yourself, be who you are, and break down your own walls and come to a place and listen. Be sensitive, even if you grew up in a world where you don't know what that means. Allow yourself to feel. When I go on stage and speak at a conference, or if I'm sitting in a theater waiting for someone to perform, I feel the energy of that room. I feel the vibe and energy of the entertainment, and I allow myself to connect to the frequency of where things are at. And if you allow yourself to be open, you can connect. Tesla, I think, got it right. Life is all about energy, vibration, and frequency. And when you discover what that means, you may discover who you are. And when you discover who you are, you can see who else you vibe with and who you connect with. And that sometimes you can communicate without speaking anything. But you gotta be present. You have to learn to be in your own state of your now, to be present. Most of the time, unfortunately, people come to a meeting, but they're so caught up about where they just went to, or so worried about where they're going. Even if they're in that same space with you, they're not there. Like, they're not here, because they're someplace else. So learn to be in your now. Learn that all we have is what we have. All we have is time. How we spend it, is up to you. But I can tell you, when I was a kid and I had a $5 a week allowance or a $2 a week allowance, it didn't matter. If I had $2 to spend that week, the first dollar was gone before the end of the first day. But when I got to Friday, I still had 25 cents in my pocket because I learned how to stretch that. And when I got a $5 a week allowance, maybe I had 75 cents in my pocket because I learned how to stretch that. When we're born, we don't know how many breaths we're gonna have. And I'm just making an over-exaggeration, say that we have 1 trillion breaths. Maybe we do. But we'll go through the first 500 million breaths, not even thinking about it. We can go through another 250 million breaths. But how many breaths, if you knew how many breaths you had left, at what breath do you say to someone, I love you? At one breath do you finally decide to go out and do something for yourself that matters to you right now? Like, what are you waiting for? Like, why not tell someone you care about them? Like, what's the game, right? And by the way, you matter, and understand that you matter. And that it's not about putting anyone else on a pedestal, but it's to put yourself there too, to be an equal. And when you learn these things, and you breathe into your life, and you breathe into yourself, you get to be who you are, whoever that is, and love that person. Because that's all we can ever do, is be that person and be you.